Hey everybody, Deplorable Bobby here. I don't expect to have very many people watching me right now because Tony Patriot is still alive and I was going to go on after him. But I like to be punctual, so maybe you'll catch me on the replay. I guess I might as well start. There's nobody here. So what we're going to do, hello treasure trolls, I'm glad you made it. I was just telling everybody that most of the people who are going to watch me are watching somebody else right now. He's running a little long, but I've got a show to do and that's what I'm going to do. It's 8 o'clock, so here I am, brother. I want to thank my subscribers. All of my subscribers are wonderful people, and I'm grateful to each and every one of you. Hello, Tam J. Hey, Walker family, good to see you. I want you to remember tonight at 9 p.m. after I go away, you're going to have American Joe and Douglas Dakota together at 9 p.m. So check those guys out. They're great patriots. They have a lot of subscribers. They have a lot of great content. And they're true American patriots. I want to thank the Great Dirtbag for his grateful PayPal donation. He was very kind. I appreciate you, Great Dirtbag. His name used to be Douchebag, and now it's Dirtbag, so sometimes I mess him up, but it's the Great Dirtbag. Thank you for your kind donation. With the 2020 election process well underway, I hope to tie together my passion for our children and with the Dems' plan to destroy our country. The Dems are united in the downfall of America. We as patriots, along with our president, strive for a better life for everyone. The Dems are united in an effort to destroy America, but they don't exactly agree how to do it. The issue to all demon rats is they support abortion. They're for open borders, free health care. They want illegals to register to vote as soon as they cross the border. So they want illegal voters. And they want climate change. People, I don't know about you, but I watch a lot of the History Channel, and according to the History Channel, America, not just America, but the world, has gone through climate changes many times over the history of the earth. So sometimes it gets warmer, sometimes it gets colder. I don't believe for a minute, not for 1 minute, in global warming. They were telling me when I was a kid, I remember that there's a hole in the ozone layer from hairspray. There was a big push back in the 70s to stop using hairspray because it's destroying the ozone layer. We still have an ozone, and I'm still using hairspray, so I guess everything's okay. Forbidden information, I want to say hello, Michelle, the Great Dirtbag, Tam J. It's great to see y'all here, and I appreciate you for coming. It really means a lot to me to see names of people that I know, and it's really great. Hey, DM, how are you doing? DM is probably the best mod on YouTube. I like to give her a shout out every chance I can because she is one of the best. Hello, Walker family. Good to see you here too. And Happy Lux. Man, you guys are great. I appreciate you for coming. Now, I want to tell you a little something. If I can find the paperwork. There's a guy by the name of Johnson. I lost my other paper, so I really can't give you his whole name. Maybe I got it here. We got it. I want to tell you some facts about some Democrats that actually have a heart. So I guess there are some Democrats that aren't pure evil. I don't understand how they can be Democrats and not be pure evil because of their stance on abortion. But I want to tell you what this guy said, and his name is Robert Johnson. He's the founder of BET TV. He was the first black billionaire in America. He said that he thinks personally that the Democratic Party has moved too far left. Now, this is the richest black man in America who is a Democrat telling the Democrats that they've gone too far left. It's not some actor or somebody out in Hollywood or some of these other low-level Dems who it doesn't matter what they say anyway. Nobody listens to them. But this guy, I'm going to tell you, if you're a black American, you need to listen to this man. He's speaking for the whole black race, as far as I'm concerned. Johnson said the party has become so liberal that he is not going to support anyone in the Democratic Party. People, that's a big name who is not dealing with the Democratic Party this time around. Johnson echoed what I'd said many times. Any person on the Democratic side of the aisle will move to center left, or they will have no hope to unseat Trump. Patriots, they have no hope to unseat Trump anyway. But if they're going to put a viable candidate against our President Donald J. Trump, then this idiot, whoever he is, needs to move to center of left, because the far left will have no chance whatsoever, and they're not going to move far enough center to defeat Trump. Even though Johnson supported Hillary Rodham Clinton in 2016, he still has praise for many of Trump's accomplishments. See, he's a Democrat, but he's not blind. He can see what Trump has done. Why can't the other black people in America see what Trump has done and what he's trying to do for these people, for all people, no matter your race or no matter your gender? Trump is pro-American, inside and out, up and down, and so are we patriots. It's a shame we have so many demon rats who want to destroy our wonderful country. You know, he also said that partisan politics by the left has come too far, and if anything, it's clear. Partisan politics has become very wicked and very mean. And here again, this is Robert Johnson, the founder of BET TV, the first billionaire black man in America, and he's denouncing the Democratic Party, even though he's a Democrat. I have a little message for Michelle. Michelle, I know you've been camping this week, and I hope you had a great time. But tonight, Michelle, I dedicate this live stream to you. Your coverage and your commitment for our preborn children, who you fight for every day, Michelle. I appreciate what you do. I appreciate your hard work, and I appreciate your dedication to the truth and to our preborn children. You are my friend, and you are my partner. I love you for being a voice for the voiceless and all of our preborn children. Michelle, I just wanted to give you that shout out. You know, the Democrat leaders have allowed a lot of stuff to just flow right on by. They've been allowed to get away with framing the discussion on abortion around vague concepts like women's right to choose. I go along with that. Women have a right to choose. They sure do. You know what they have a right to choose? They have a right to choose to not screw around. They have the right to, if they do screw around, take the pill, use condoms, do something so you don't get pregnant. Don't tell me for 1 minute that there's one female in this world who believes for a minute that she can have sex. I don't know how many times, and I don't know who with, but she can have sex as she pleases, and the chance is that she just might get pregnant. That's a woman's right. The woman's right to lay down with a man or not to. Once they lay down with a man and they become pregnant, their choices end right there. As far as I'm concerned, that baby should be the most important thing in her life. I'm not going to stand by for a minute and placate anything to these demon rats. If they want to have unprotected sex, then birth a baby. Don't have unprotected sex knowing in the back of your mind, well, if I get pregnant, I can just have it aborted. That's evil, it's cruel, and it's mean. Did your mother really raise you like that, young lady? To think like that? If she had thought like that, you wouldn't be here. Think about that for just a minute. If you're thinking about having an abortion. Someone chose to give you life. Now why can't you do the same for that life that's in your belly? But I want to talk about a person that just makes my blood boil. This man, I swear to God, if I had 30 seconds in a room with him, I would have to do life in prison. It's just that simple. This crazy fool, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, and Ralph Northam of Virginia, and other Dems who claim to be politicians, have endorsed abortion on demand through birth and even to infanticide. Did you hear that, my friends? Infanticide. This is what these people are wanting for our laws. They want it to be legal and lawful to murder a living human being. Murdering our preborns and those born alive after a failed abortion attempt is nothing but murder. To end the life after birth, or to simply just let the baby lay on a cold steel table until it dies, is murder. It's plain and simple, my friends. I'm not going to sugarcoat this topic for the weak of heart. I'm telling you the gospel truth. And you all need to know the truth about the murder of our preborns. We all talk about, oh yeah, I'm pro-life, I'm anti-abortion, but we don't think about the real facts of the matter, like Michelle at Forbidden Information and I, and a lot of others, do as well. It tears the heart out of my chest every time I have to report on this kind of stuff. I tried to veer away from it for a few days and stick to politics. But I'll tell you, I'm committed. I'm committed to our children. And I missed being a voice. So I'm back here tonight. That's why I'm doing this live stream. I want to shout it to the rooftops, and I want everybody to hear. If you like it or if you don't. Abortion is nothing but plain murder. It's murder in the eyes of God. It's murder in the eyes of humanity. But it's not murder in the eyes of our law. Now, what is wrong with that picture, people? You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat this like I said. I'm going to stand up for our preborn babies, the ones still in the womb. And I'm going to pray for those that were aborted. I've sat by and I've put these horrific stories on the back burner for a few days, and I hope bringing some of the news of the day to you instead of reporting on abortion would make it easier for me. But it wasn't easy for me. I missed reporting on this stuff. This is my passion. Our preborn children should be the passion of every patriotic American. We shouldn't stand for the needless murder of thousands and thousands of babies a day simply for convenience for the mother or for the pocketbook of doctors and Planned Parenthood. Today I'm back on topic, and I'm a bit fed up with all the liberal BS coming from the Democrats. I'm really fed up with them. You know, because it's always the same old story. It never changes. You know, most Dems know that taxpayer abortion is a losing issue for any Democrat hoping to unseat our president in the White House. It ain't going to happen no matter what they do. But for them to think that they can preach taxpayer abortions and even make a showing shows you just how foolish they really are. In reality, in the real reality of America, Americans are overwhelmingly opposed to late-term abortions. The polls say that 1 in 5 abortions, they believe that 1 in 5 believe that abortion should be allowed up until birth. That's 1 in 5. Well, I say that those 5 are evil demons, and anybody who would think that it's okay to murder a preborn baby ready to leave the womb and live on its own should be murdered is pure evil. There's no other word for it. Pure evil. It goes all the way back. It goes all the way back to the early days of Molech, when they sacrificed their newborns. They would birth a baby and lay the newborn baby in the hands of a metal idol that was heated till it was red hot. And they'd lay that baby in the hands of Molech, and they would sing and dance and play flutes and beat drums to drown out the cries of those babies. Well, people, I'm here today to speak for those babies. I'm tired of sitting on the back burner and doing nothing when it comes to our children. I've tried to get off of this topic. I can't do it, Michelle. It's not going to happen. I'm going to stand by you. I'm going to stand by Stephen Corson. We're going to make a difference. Somehow, some way, Michelle, we're going to make a difference. Trust me, sister, we will make a difference somehow. It might be by growing our channels. It might be going to D.C. It might be going out on sidewalks at abortion clinics. I don't know what it's going to take, but we're going to make a difference, Michelle. You know, Bernie Sanders, he should have kept his big mouth shut, because every time he opens his mouth, he always says something totally stupid. Bernie Sanders ran his mouth and said, oh my goodness. He said this as he made a promise to the women of America. He said, Medicare for all guarantees every woman in the country the right to have an abortion. Every woman in the country already has the right for abortion, Bernie. Or did you not know that? But what you're saying, you want to pay for the abortions. Do you not remember the Hyde Amendment? One of your fellow Democrats, Joe Biden, was instrumental in penning this law and this amendment. And you know what it said was, it said that the long-standing policy prevents taxpayer-funded abortions. And by forbidding taxpayer-funded abortions, we save 60,000 preborn lives every year, simply because the women can't afford an abortion. It's fine with me. As long as a baby is saved, I'm happy, and I don't care why, and I don't care how. It's not my place to sit here and be a panty-waist liberal, to pine away and worry about these poor women who can't afford to have abortions. Well, we're certainly not going to pay for it. And the Hyde Amendment makes sure of that. As long as Trump's in office, we don't have to worry about that. So I say, Democrats, demon rats, whatever you are, reach in your deep pockets. You pay for these abortions. Don't expect me and my fellow patriot Americans to pay for your evil sins against God and humanity and America. You know, Washington State's far-left liberal governor, his name's Jay Inslee. He boasted about forcing all insurance companies in his state of Washington to cover abortions on demand, saying there is no option for any insurance company to opt out. Hello, Cherry, how are you doing? So why did he make it where insurance companies couldn't opt out? Because he wants to abort babies. It's all about aborting babies. Hello, drummer girl, Mrs. Newton. Little drummer girl, I'll say that again. It's Mrs. Newton's big family, big noise. Great. Big families ought to make big noise. Liberty Smith, great to see you here, my friend. I talk to Liberty Smith on the phone quite often. He's a great patriot, people. You got to love Liberty Smith. But you know, here's what really eats my lunch. It wasn't bad enough for Cuomo to make it legal to murder a preborn baby up until birth, or to let it die on a cold steel examination table. He removed all criminal penalties concerning any type of abortion. In New York, a woman can give birth to a healthy baby, and then they, the mother and the doctor, will discuss if the baby born alive will be left to die or to live. Now, what kind of crap is this? In New York, you can birth a baby, lay it over there on a cold steel table with no blankets or anything else, just let it lay there, let it cry. And you and the doctor are going to sit there and you're going to talk back and forth and have a conversation, and you're going to talk about, well, I don't know if I want this baby or not. And he's going to say, well, you know, you don't have to take the baby. Of course that's what they're going to say, because they get paid to murder children. People, this is the state of New York, and they allow this. They allow the life or death of a baby to be discussed, and there is no discussion to it. If you are birthed alive, you should receive the dignity and the respect and the treatment and love that you deserve. You fought too hard to get out of that womb just to have some evil doctor murder you. Think about that, people. Think of the struggle that a preborn baby goes through just to get outside the womb, to get that first breath of air, and then have his neck broke or choked to death or simply just left to die. This is pure evil coming out of New York State. This is a living, breathing human being. The baby is no longer a part of that woman's body, and she should not have the right to say if it lives or dies. Plain and simple. Her rights ended when she laid down with that man and became pregnant. She had a choice not to do it, but she did. And she became pregnant, and now it's her obligation in my eyes and in my heart that she birthed this baby. If she don't want it, give it away. I'll take it. I'm 64 years old, but I'll spend the rest of my days raising a baby if I just could. But no court in the country is going to give me a baby at my age, being single. But I would if I could. You know, the director of the National Right to Life organization says that New York's abortion laws allow non-doctors to perform abortions, just like Maine and a lot of other states. They're letting LPNs do these abortions now. They have no certifications. It's all on-the-job training, people. It's possible, and most likely probable, that a qualified healthcare professional will not be available to render any medical aid to a child that needs it if he is born alive. I venture to say that these LPNs and these RNs and these physician's assistants do not have the schooling, the education, or the knowledge and experience to handle a true emergency. Now, I, on the other hand, as a trained cardiac technician, I was trained to deal with emergencies. But I'm going to tell you right now, people, I don't want to be in the room with that baby. I would hate for the life of that child. I'd hate for the responsibility for that child to fall on me. And these nurses and these physician's assistants have a lot more training than I had as a cardiac technician. But I know how to save a life. So do they. But they choose not to. And they choose not to have a doctor anywhere on staff or anywhere on the premises to render that emergency aid if it's needed, even if it's needed by the mother. These LPNs and PAs, they don't have the knowledge or the experience to handle a true emergency in a birthing situation. Time's going to come. Somebody's going to die. It's not going to, and the baby's going to die for sure. But one day the mother is going to die on one of those tables. And then these nurses and these physician's assistants performing these abortions will be called on it. Of course, the Democrats, the demon rats, whatever you want to call them, they're going to sweep it all under the rug like they always do. It's abortion, 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 abortion. And then it's pay for it. Pay for abortions. Turns my stomach, my friends. I've barely gone 30 minutes. But I tell you, I feel like I've said a whole lot. I haven't shut up. First and last, great to see you. Mike DeHen, good to see you here. Florida Jim again. Flat Earth Forums, good to see you. I appreciate y'all for coming. I really do. I'm trying to do something good here. And I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I'm going to keep on trying. I'm going to keep on trying. Because I'll tell you, I know that you people wouldn't be here if you didn't feel exactly the same way that I do. You know, the Born Alive Infants Protection Act of 2002 states that any person born alive under any circumstances has full rights as any other person. So tell me, why and how can New York simply ignore this federal law? This has been since 2002. And these demon rat doctors, these murderers of babies, they know all this, but they don't pay it any attention because nobody's going to call them on it. When are we as American patriots going to stand up and quit, stop sitting on our hands, and do something about this abortion issue? Sure, we voted Trump into office and he's doing all that he can, but we as the people need to let our congressmen and our senators, no matter what side of the aisle they're on, that we don't agree with this murder of infants. You know, the chairman of the New York State Conservative Party says the current law, get this, it allows babies born alive will be left to expire. He didn't even want to say the word die. And that's one of your Republicrats. People, it don't matter. They don't expire. They die because of murder. Now in New York, if a baby is born alive and left to die, get this. I know you've all heard of hospice. Hospice is what they use if you're dying of cancer or something like that. I know this because I had a cousin who was diagnosed with cancer, and she was given like 4 months to live when she was diagnosed. Well, they told her that she would be on hospice until the day she died, or for 6 months. Because to be hospice qualified, you have to be diagnosed to die within 6 months. That's part of hospice, people. So these doctors now in New York, if a baby is born alive, they invoke hospice. The hospice approach is used to let the baby die, and in New York, this is the acceptable standard of care for an unwanted infant. So you see what they're doing? They know how bad it looks if they just murder this baby. But they say, according to hospice, this baby was going to be left to expire. That's what hospice does, people. Hospice keeps people easy in their dying days. And they give you these medications, and as you get sicker, the medications get stronger until the day when you can no longer control your bowels and you can no longer function as a human being. They give you another dose of another pill that puts you out, plain and simple. That's what hospice is. Hospice is great. Don't get me wrong. I am not denouncing hospice for 1 minute. They do great work. They help a lot of people with cancer and fatal illnesses to ease out of this world in no pain. And that's fantastic. Probably someday I'll need hospice, and I'll be grateful that it's there. But hospice should not be invoked to murder a baby that's born alive. That is just wrong. It's wrong on the face of it. You know something, it's really, if it wasn't so sick, it'd be funny. Do you know what the big battle is in the New York legislature now? It's not our preborn children. It's not the murder of our preborn children. It's not the fact that we let them die every day or murder them. Here's what the legislature is worried about in New York right now. The New York legislature is concerned that declawing a cat is cruel and inhumane. People, they say that a vet that performs a declawing of a cat will be fined $1,000 because it is cruel and inhumane. They're more worried about the claws of a cat than they are the life of a baby. Do you see where I'm going with this, people? The Demon Rat Party is so far left, they can't even see reality. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I've had a few cats. I don't really like cats, but I've had a few, and the ones I had I took care of and loved. But I'm going to tell you right now, the last thing I want is a cat destroying my leather couch and chair. Last thing I want is a cat tearing up my bed. I'm not going to have a cat claw my house apart. So yeah, every cat I've ever had, I had declawed. And I'm going to tell you something, people, they cost a lot of money to have a cat declawed. You can have a child aborted for about the same price. And that's what they're doing. They're aborting our children instead of declawing their damn cats. I agree. Declawing a cat, if he's not going to be in the house, you should never do it. If a cat's going to be in and out, if he's going to be out here in the yard, if he's going to be chasing birds and being chased by dogs and different stuff, he's going to need his claws to defend himself. But if you have a cat that never leaves the house, never leaves his food bowl or his water bowl or his litter box, you don't have to have claws. He doesn't need to defend himself. And yes, it may be painful. I don't know. I'm not a cat. But every cat I ever had declawed, and I've probably had 4 or 5 declawed. As a matter of fact, when I was growing up, my older brother, we were in the horse business, and we used to trade horses a lot. We'd trade for anything. Well, he traded for an African lion, believe that or not. This lion was about 2 years old and weighed about 200 pounds, maybe a little over. He was just getting his big mane, as a male. But he was declawed. And he was defanged. And I guess if I had to admit it, that's where I learned about declawing. Because I'm going to tell you, that 200-pound lion took my little old 120-pound butt and tore me apart every time I got around it. He thought I was his play purdy, and my brother always sicked him on me. So I was glad he was declawed, people, because he would have clawed me to death, and he bit me many times. And thank God he didn't have any fangs. So yeah, declaw your cats if they're going to be in the house, if they're going to be protected. I have no problem with that. But the people of New York, they're saying protecting animals from so-called abuse is a noble thing. But New York lawmakers are discriminating about who and what they choose to protect. They're discriminating against our children. They want to protect your kitten. People, there is no way in this world, I know there's a lot of you out there that's cat lovers, and I love my dogs, and I always loved the cats that I had. But I'm going to tell you, there's no comparison between a cat or a dog or a horse or any other type animal for the life of a child. Plain and simple. And here they are comparing declawing to abortion. How sick is that? Jervis, glad to see you. Philip Turner, 12B, Georgia. Ashley, DM still here. Common Sense with Elizabeth, I'm glad you came by. Forbidden Information is still here. I'm glad she's here. I tell you, she's a great lady. All of you are, and thank you for coming. Abortion is cruel and vicious and barbaric. But in no way can abortion ever be compared to declawing of a cat. That is just so wrong on all levels. You know, the Dem-controlled New York legislature is more focused on protecting cats than protecting our children. Every year, more than 1,500 late-term unborn babies are murdered in New York. 1,500 a year are murdered because of late-term abortions, and they're born alive. And they are either murdered or left to die on a cold, hard steel table. How cruel is that? You know, they choose a place where they can value things. You know, like they want to value kittens, but they want to devalue human babies. They want to devalue them to the point to where they're not even human. They refuse to give these infants that are aborted and murdered the dignity and the respect that they deserve. You know, they just passed a law because it got so bad about what they were doing with the remains of these little preborns that are aborted. They were throwing the babies away with the afterbirth and the rest of everything that's left over from an abortion. But finally, the Supreme Court did stand up and did give an affirmative on the issue of showing dignity and respect and disposing of these poor innocent preborn babies in a respectful manner, be it by cremation or by burial. Thank you, Supreme Court. That's the only thing that you've done for pro-life in the last 2 years. Everything else you kick back to the lower courts. The Supreme Court, people. They're supposed to be the Supreme Court. They're not supposed to be the court that kicks everything back to the lower court. If the lower court can make these decisions, we wouldn't need a Supreme Court. What's the deal? Kavanaugh? Roberts? A few others? Come on, y'all. Gorsuch? Get off your hands. Stand up. Be a man. Do something about abortion. Vote on something that matters to every American. You know, the laws that we have today, they're ignored, and our preborns are discriminated against by these doctors and even their birth mothers. I hate to even call these people birth mothers. Well, people, I went through all 13 pages. I don't want to keep you here if I don't have something to say that matters. It's 8:45, and I'm new at this live stream stuff. I'm trying to get it to where it'll go an hour. But I know a lot of y'all have stuff to do, so for a few minutes I'm going to talk to you on the chat for a few minutes, and then I'm going to get out of here and let y'all get ready to go check out Douglas Ducote and American Joe Show tonight. We're going to be live together at 9 p.m. No matter what you're doing, stop it. Watch these guys. They are great American patriots, and they both have a great following, and they have great information. They're not like me. They're not playing off the cuff. They have some technology that I don't have, and they bring a lot of great content. So check them out at 9 o'clock. Dangerous Freedom. So glad you finally made it, brother. You caught the butt end of it. Kevin T. Joe Schmo. Florida Jim again. Hey, how you doing, brother? Kevin T. I'm going to get it right this time, girl. CLC in Florida. How are you doing? DM, thank you for posting that. Jervis, what's been canceled due to a hurricane? Wow, I didn't hear that. Hey, Tony Patriot, how you doing, brother? All right, somebody, DM, put that back up here again. Tell me what happened with Dakota and the American Joe Show. I've been on here and I missed it. Somebody put that up. Okay. Common Sense says they were transplanting the thymus gland from an aborted fetus into rats to try to, oh my God, to grow them into rats. Oh my goodness. Okay, DM says Douglas Dakota has a hurricane. So it sounds pretty urgent. So put Douglas Dakota in your prayers right now. God, I wished I had more information on that, people. Y'all in the chat, DM, Ashley, Shonda, whoever has the information, make sure that it's put out there so everybody knows, so they can put Dakota in their prayers. We all want him to be safe. We want everybody to be safe. But Douglas Dakota is a true American patriot. That is what Douglas put out there, she said. Okay, DM, thank you. Forbidden Information says she's going to go live about 9:30. Well, Michelle, if you want to, I'm going to get out of here as close to 9 p.m. as I can. But I'm going to hang around here for a few more minutes. I'm seeing people here. Philip Turner, Liberty Smith, good to see you back here. Common Sense with Elizabeth. Y'all check Forbidden Information out. I'm going to tell you, this girl works her butt off to bring you great content. She has a great channel. She's got good graphics. She's using the same streaming channel that I am, but I haven't figured out yet how to put up all of my stuff behind me and all that stuff. So I sit on my front porch. These are real people. They're all real. So I sit on my front porch and I try to talk to y'all a little bit. But Forbidden Information is fantastic. She will definitely perk your interest. So go check her out. And it says Douglas Dakota is in Louisiana, and evidently they're having a hurricane in the Gulf. I didn't know that. I haven't been paying much attention to the news today. And then it says here, Joe is on the West Coast. Yeah, and Douglas is around Louisiana. Thank you, Ron. Dangerous Freedom. I appreciate that information. Philip Turner said, good evening, time to make coffee. Thank you too, brother. Have a good one, and we'll see you outdoors. It seems like I'm trying to see exactly what you're saying here. DM. Oh, that says cabana. Okay, I don't know what that means, but Jervis says, donate to Deplorable Bobby. If you'd like to donate to my channel, I would be very appreciative. Since I've got a few minutes, I'm going to get out of here, but I want to give us a plug right quick. Forbidden Information and I, Deplorable Bobby. Michelle and I are going to D.C. We're hoping in September. We're going to go to D.C. and we're going to talk to some senators and some congressmen and some people that are in our government. We've already gotten a couple of people who have agreed to meet with us, and we're going to talk pro-life issues, and maybe I'll even get a chance to throw some Second Amendment questions in there at the same time. But we're going to knock on doors of those who don't want to talk to us. We may be able to talk to them, we may not. It doesn't matter. We're going to be there, and I'm either going to be filming her or she's going to be filming me. Heck, we might be filming each other. I don't know. But we're going, and we're going to be a voice, and we're going to make a loud voice known in D.C. I guarantee you, after 10 days in D.C. with Michelle and I, there's going to be a lot of people in D.C. that are going to be glad to see us go back home. If nothing else, we're going to be a thorn in their side. So people, pray for Michelle and I. Pray for us that we'll get contributions that we need to make it to D.C. together. She's coming from New York and I'm coming from Georgia. I plan to ride the train, and I'm sure she probably is too. It's the cheapest way to get there. But we got to pay for hotel rooms and food for 10 days, and both of us being on fixed income, sometimes that's a little hard. But we're saving, and we're getting PayPal donations. So before I go, I want to say again, thank you to the Great Dirtbag for your kind PayPal donation today. It's greatly appreciated, my brother. And I promise you, it's going to be used to go to D.C. All right, people, I'm down to 8:52. I'm going to jump out of here. I've run out of stuff to say, which is odd for me. And I don't have my guitar, so I can't play you a song. All I can say is I did get a haircut today, but I still got my hair. I love y'all. Y'all be safe. Love each other. Support each other. People you see on here, D.A. Archer, I just saw you there. Man, I had to say hey to you. I just saw you pop up. 12B, Georgia, Florida Gym, forbidden information. Get 7 out of 7. Get 7 out of 7 of the 7 vote. Boy, I'm going to tell you, that's a good one right there. That's a mouthful. Dangerous Freedom. Ron, I love you, brother. Florida Gym, 12B, Georgia. Jervis, thank you, my friend Jervis. Great to see you. I'm going to sign out of here. My name's Deplorable Bobby. This used to be the way I see it, and now it's just the way I am. I'll see y'all Sunday night on live stream at 8 o'clock. Thank y'all for coming. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you tomorrow on a video. God bless all of you, and God bless our children.